Hey everyone, so this is the first video from myself, Bradley, or probably better known to you guys on Facebook as the Anxiety Bloke. Why am I doing this video? Well, I'd like to do a few as time goes on. Obviously it's the first one I've done, so it'll take a bit getting used to, but the main reason behind it was I had a mail today from someone, a certain female who stays down in London, so miles away from me in Aberdeen. She had lots of fancy letters after her name, and she was an anxiety expert. I know, it sounds interesting because I've never came across an anxiety expert as such. So what she said to me was, Bradley, I'm a bit concerned what makes you an expert to give advice on anxiety. So I had to do some thinking, and well, I would say the fact that, you know, for many, many years, I would spend days on end in bed. I couldn't get out of my bed. I had no reason other than it was safer to be in my bed. The thought of getting up and going to work, going to friends and family parties or what it may be, was terrifying. Nothing else mattered apart from staying in that fucking bed and trying to deal with what was going on in my head. Now, I could never deal with it because I didn't know what was going on in my head. All I knew was that, you know, I had my heart would be racing, that I'd have pains in my chest, and the thought of leaving that house terrified me. I don't know why, it genuinely just terrified me, and it still happens. It happens quite a lot. Or it could be the fact, you know, that I've went shopping, perhaps with my kids or whoever, and I'd be standing in a shop, everything had been okay, and all of a sudden, you know, I'd start to get pains in my chest, my heart would start to race, my fingers would get all clammy, and I just needed to get out of that shop. The more I thought about it, the more scared I would become. The sweats would get worse and worse, the heart would pound faster and faster, and all my head would tell me is, Jesus, brother, get the fuck out of this shop, get out of the shop, get back to the car, get home. And on many occasions I would drop my shopping, I would grab the kids and I would get out of there. The drive home would be quite frankly terrifying. I wouldn't know what's going on. Why was I thinking like this? Why am I so scared? You know, and I'd build up myself into this frenzy where by the time I got home, I would almost be in a full-blown panic attack and I'd have lost total control. That day would probably be spent in my house, refusing to leave and refusing to speak to anyone else. If someone tried to speak to me and told me to calm down or told me that I was being silly, I'd probably become quite an aggressive, snappy or abrupt person. I would accuse anyone that spoke to me of not understanding. How could they understand? I didn't understand what was going on, so if I can't understand what's going on, how would they? Looking back, and I've wrote about this in the book, is that it wasn't their fault. You know, they don't have the anxiety. I shouldn't expect them to understand. In hindsight, they were probably just trying to get me to calm down and get me in a better place. But at that point in time, I just wouldn't listen to anyone. Nothing or no one mattered apart from what was going on in my head and me trying to deal with that. And in most cases, until pretty recently, I wouldn't have dealt with it. It might have got a bit less, and then a few days later, bang, it would happen again. Or, you know, it could be one night, you know, and this happened a lot, and it just happened this week as well again, where I'd wake up in the middle of the night, I'd have a shortage of breath and pains in my chest, my heart would start to race, and again I would start to sweat, convinced I was going to have a heart attack. I would sit up and I would try and control my breathing like the doctor told me to do so many times, but I wouldn't do it. I would get myself into such a frenzy where I wouldn't know whether I should phone the ambulance, if I should jump in my car, and on many occasions I would jump in my car and I would drive to A&E. I would go to the reception at A&E and I would tell them that I had pains in my chest and thinking I was taking a heart attack. Time would pass, I would be checked out, they would do all the usual checks and they would say, you're not having a heart attack, you're fine. It looks like it's just your anxiety playing tricks on your head again. What it does all the time. Anxiety plays tricks on my head all the time. And I am getting better, obviously, because that's what I've written about, and that's what I'm going to share with you guys over the coming weeks and months, how I got better, because I strongly believe that we can all get better. So when that person asked me that question, what makes me an expert? Excuse the language, but the fucking hundreds of attacks I have had, whether it be at home, in a shop, out with friends and family, that makes me an expert. How I felt at that moment in time makes me an expert on anxiety. The goal of my book and the goal of this Facebook page is not to be a doctor. It's not to diagnose people, and it is not to tell people, right, you need to do this, this and this, because we are all different. What my goal is to make people read that book and understand how I felt at that situations when they happened, and hopefully make them recognise that they're not alone. The goal of the Facebook page is to bring us all together and make them realise, and make you guys realise that, actually, hold on a second, I remember Bradley writing about that, and he did this and this, and he was okay. I can be okay. I can be okay. I can be like that. The next time I have that attack, I'm gonna remember what he said. The next time I have that attack, I'm gonna remember that girl on that Facebook page who suffered this and this, and this is how she coped, and she done this and that. That is more powerful in any session you can have with a doctor or any medication, because people are telling you how they experienced it that time and what it was, and how they got through it. Over the years, I've tried every medication you could think of. Some worked for a while, some didn't work at all. I think anxiety medication does have a place, so if your doctor wants to try you on it, I think you should enter that open-mindedly and give it a go, because some people take medication and they're fixed. Some people take it, like myself, and it just made my world a whole lot worse. Right now I'm not on any medication. My medication is trying to figure out and understand why I have these thoughts, and remembering when I do have them that I've had them before. Remembering that I speak to you guys and I say, well, look, you're experiencing this, I've done that. Almost leading by example. If I'm going to preach to you guys how I got better to try and help you get better, I need to remember that for myself when I have my issues. Anxiety is shit. It will play with your head. It will take you from a normal, happy, fun-loving guy or girl, and it will put you in that bedroom of yours, and it will rip out everything you've got, and you won't see a light at the end of that tunnel. But there is. But there really, truly is, and I want you to believe that. Because I believe it. Because I know how I was 2-3 years ago, where I wouldn't leave my house. I didn't work for a full year because I couldn't get past how I was feeling on a day-to-day basis. I'm back working, I'm back going to the gym, I've written this book, and I'm speaking to you guys. If someone had told me I was going to be like that 2 years ago, I would have laughed, and I would have went back to just suffering like I was before. You can do it. We can all do it, and I'm really passionate about that. It may take months, it may take years, but the important thing to remember is that you're not alone. And people say this all the time. You're not alone in how you feel in the situations that develop within your life. We all suffer them, and that's the key thing to remember, is that when you go through these situations and the fear kicks in, try and remember what was written in my book, for example, or try and remember what was written on the Facebook page. If it can minimise it by even this much, it's a huge improvement to how you were feeling before that. And I want to do these videos, and I'm going to do these videos quite often. Obviously, this being the first one, it's a bit ropey. But really, the message from me is, I've written that book because I've suffered anxiety for many years. I want to help myself, but I want to help you guys. The Facebook page is growing at a huge rate of knots, and everyone that's on it, we all have our own issues. And I truly believe that if we come together, and we don't sit and we don't get scared and we're not scared to tell someone, the strongest thing you can do is speak up, is admit that something's not right. If you admit something's not right, you've just kick-started the path to getting better. I sat for a long time scared to tell anyone. The best thing I've ever done is write down how I feel, and then when I have my issues, looking back at what I wrote down, and often I look back and think, fucking hell, did you really feel like that? Did you really do that? Did you really say that to that person? Did you make them feel like shit just because you were feeling like shit? You're an asshole. And what I'll now do is I'll go back to that person and say, last week I spoke to you like shit. I treated you like shit because I was having an anxiety attack. I didn't know what to do, and you bear the brunt of that, because that's what happened. I stand up, and if I fucked up, I say sorry. And that alone helps like you would not believe, because you will walk away with a clearer head and think, fuck, okay, I can move on from that now. And that person you've apologised to is going to come back and think, well, actually, they've got some issues, and I'm gonna try and be there for them. They'll try and understand you a bit more. And one thing about the book as well, which I know I keep mentioning, is it's a great book for people that want to understand those of us who have an anxiety. Because if you don't suffer it, it's hard to understand. Many people are reading the book and saying, Jesus, I didn't know my boyfriend, my wife, my husband, that's the way they thought. And it's like night and day for how you handle us when we have these episodes. So, again, first video, probably all over the place, but that's fine. The message from me is, I'm not an expert, I'm not a doctor. What I am is a guy that suffers anxiety, and I have good days and I have bad days. I don't sugarcoat things because, there's no point in lying and saying shit that's not true. If I have a bad day, I'm going to fucking tell you guys. If I have a good day, I'm going to share it as well. And I want us all to do that. There's guys that have been reading the book, the amount of messages I'm getting is insane. There's guys mailing me saying, fucking hell, Bradley, since I've read your book, I've not had any anxiety. It's been 4 days. That's amazing for me. That's the best thing I can hear. Fucking good effort, good job. Let's just fucking keep going. If that certain person mails me in a day's time and say, Bradley, I've had a fucking bad day, we're going to support, and support each other, and we're going to try and get another 4 days, and we'll try and keep doing that. If your doctor's helping you, great, go to your doctor. If medication's helping you, great, stay on it, don't come off it. We all cope in different ways. One thing, and the main message for me is, and people say this all the time, is that we aren't alone. We aren't alone, and people are there to help. The biggest thing you guys need to do, like I have done, is try and learn to understand yourself. If you can learn to understand yourself, that is your road to getting better. If you can learn to speak to people that you love and care for, friends or family, and let them know how you're feeling, they will stand a better chance of dealing with you in a better way the next time you have an attack. Don't shut family and loved ones out. We will accuse them of not understanding because that's what happens. Try and get past that. And if you fuck up, and if you speak to someone like shit, and in your head, I spoke to them like shit yesterday, man up, or woman up, go back to them and say, I'm sorry about that. I had a bad day. This is what it was. I'll try and not do it again. So, thanks everyone for all the likes and shares. If this video even means the slightest bit to you, and you think things are helping, I want you to share it, because the way we're going to, grow is to get a bigger community. The more people that get on board and more people understand that you're not alone, the better things are going to become for us. Like I've said, I'm not cured. I'm just on my way to being better, and I truly believe that you guys are as well. So like and share. Everyone says that on Facebook. Like and share and get that message out there. I'm going to do more of these videos about some of the experiences I've had, how I coped. If I got bad days, I'm going to tell you about my bad days and how I dealt with it. And I'm going to ask you guys to do the same. Of course, if you've not got the book, get it. That's the starting point for all of us, because that means you've accepted you've got an issue and you've accepted you want to try and fix it. Please don't sit at home, think you're alone. Please don't sit at home and think, I can't do this anymore, it's not going to get any better. Because I'm telling you, it will get better. I truly, truly mean that. It's going to get better, but you need to get involved and you need to make that step and sit up and say, right, I'm going to try. I'm going to try kick this anxiety in the face, or smash it in the face, as I would say. Fuck you, anxiety. That's what I say. And I want you guys to be saying the same. You know, we might not get rid of it totally, but we'll make things better. So thanks for watching this video. I know it's went on for a bit. Again, I appreciate everyone that's bought the book. It means the world to me. But the most important thing that's coming out of all this is that I'm not just helping myself, I'm helping you. And I want to keep doing that. Cheers.